Delusional is not realizing that fat meat is greasy. Now, what I mean by that is, lately we've been hearing President Donald Trump talking about he's going into all these inner cities that are ran by the Democrats, right? He's going in there with his National Guards and he's going to clean up the crime. He's not talking about going into the red states where they have the, cities with the most crime. But anyway, that's a different story. He's talking about doing that. And there's people who are committing the crimes in these cities. They hear that. They hear that Trump is talking about bringing the National Guards up in there and they still commit the crimes. They do not believe fat meat is greasy. It's almost like they're like, who gonna check me, boo? But then when the National Guards do get up in there and he says it's not if, it's when. That's what Trump said because he was asked about it. He says, oh yeah, we're going to go. We just don't know when just yet. But yeah, we're going. Now, of course, there's a lot of technicality because it takes an act of Congress. He can't just go and federalize other cities and states, if you will, like he can that of Washington, D.C., because it has a special set of circumstances. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the delusion. So you hear this man standing up on the podiums talking about he's going to do it. And yet places like Chicago, there were over 50 people shot, about 10 or so killed. And I'm not saying it's all necessarily us, right? Because it's not just us. That's something the media wants everybody to believe, that it's just black thugs running around doing all the crime. And we know that's not true. But for the people who are doing it, you hear him saying he's going to do it and you keep on with the keep on, right? You would think those people would self-correct and say, okay, let's knock it off, right? Because we're going to make it bad for everybody. But again, we know they don't care about anybody else but themselves. But then when Trump and the National Guard get up in there, then people going to get to whining and complaining, right? We already hear Governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, talking about we don't want him in here. And then Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, he's like, we don't want the National Guards in here. And his thing is more or less about the immigrants. He's protecting them. He don't care about black people at all, right? And we also know that Trump don't care about black people. He has, in my opinion, ulterior motives, right? Of course, where there's a lot of crime, you have a lot of criminals, and a lot of those criminals could be sentenced to prison and for a long time, right? We heard Janine Pirro, she's working with the Trump administration there in Washington. She said, yeah, we're going to get them as young as 14. We're going to charge them as adults, right? Lock them up and throw away the key. That's their thing, right? So when you get them as young as adults, you lock them up, throw away the key. Guess what? You don't have to worry about that bed being filled. Now, a lot of these prisons are privatized. Don't believe the hype. They are privatized. And with something being privatized, that means that they have investors and they have to guarantee a return on investment to those investors. Usually it's guaranteeing that those beds in prisons are 90% full to capacity, right? That's when they can guarantee a return on investment. So if we get them at the age of 14 and lock them up for life, well, we don't have to go hunting for these investments, if you will, right? So again, don't ever think that Trump is doing this because he cares about black people. Now, black people, especially in the inner city, they're getting an inadvertent benefit from Trump per se going in there and cleaning up the crime and all of that. But yeah, the people that are doing the crimes, you're delusional to think that you can continue to do that. And Trump goes in there and you won't be gaffled up, right? It's like fat meat is greasy, okay? So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my